Hey Max, here, big flame.
Thank you.
Aww, such a beautiful.
Hey Max, look at the camera.
Hi, can I pet it? Can I pet him? Yes, yes.
So it's sore? Huh? How can you walk tomorrow?
Well, see how it feels tomorrow? We'll leave it down. Hi everybody. I'm gonna get me some water. Hi everybody. So one of the viewers wanted to know about zeros, what I've taken, and I found that. Let me just say one thing about zeros. I honestly believe that people should take zeros for a couple of reasons. And it's mainly, I think mainly so to prevent injury, overuse injury. That's one of the main reasons why I think people should take zeros. I have looked at the halfway anywhere surveys, and some people take very few zeros, some people take a lot more zeros. I watch YouTube videos where people have taken multiple days at home because they just want to take time off the trail and be with a family normally. And sometimes it's because of injury. So as far as I'm concerned, what happened with me, all the videos that you have seen show the mileage. And normally it's one video per day up until I think video 32, I think it is. I'm not really sure exactly if I'm going to put this out between 32 and 33, or if I'm just going to put it out before that, just to update you guys on a zero. Okay, so my first zero was at Mount Laguna. I arrived at Mount Laguna, and I gotta tell you, I was dragging into Mount Laguna. And I was gonna stay in the tent site, but I said, hey, they have a lodge there. I'm gonna go ahead and stay there. So my first zero was there at Mount Laguna. I got there at night or in the late afternoon, stayed there that night. The next day I was editing videos, and I was just taking care of one blister that I had, and just getting my food already prepared, and just thinking about the trail. That was the fourth day now. Okay, so I continued on. Anyway, when I got to Scissors Crossing, that's mile 77.3. It's about an hour and a half away from where I live. And when I got reception, I was talking to Olive Oil. I said, hey, I'm over here at making it to Scissors Crossing. My plan was to stay that day there. I had enough food, and I was going to continue on forward the following day. And Olive Oil said, we can pick you up. And I didn't even think twice. I said, you can do what? It's far. He said, it's not that far. And it was already cold. It was cold. It was windy. It got dark. I had to put on I didn't have my puffy at that time. I didn't get my puffy until mile 152. So she came to pick me up. I put my Tyvek on the ground. I had my rail rider shirt, side hoodie, and I put my melons on top of that, and I put my beanie on top of that, And it was freezing, and I'm going like, when are they gonna get here? They didn't get there to pick me up till about 10:30 at night. I was freezing next to the bridge, but when they got there, I was actually very thankful that they picked me up. So at mile 77.3, which is Scissors Crossing, I didn't go into Julian. I've been there many times. I was there today. I gave somebody a hitch today. Hi, Jacob. So I came home and I stayed home for 2 days. So mile 77.3, I had already 3 days. Came back on trail 2, which is Paradise Valley Cafe. When I was at Paradise Valley Cafe, again, I called my wife all the way when I got reception. Hey, I'm over here. I'm getting to this place. We have a friend, hi Zara, that communicates with my wife, and she said, hey, I live 5 minutes from there by car. If he's already over there, let me pick him up and get him some coffee, let me take him home to you, to my wife. And I guess them talked, and I was very grateful, like, yes. So I was very grateful that I got a ride. And again, that was 2 days. At 1:52. And that's because I wanted to come home. Let me just tell you one thing. It is a vortex when you live close to where you're hiking. Because home is so easy to get to. It doesn't really cost you anything unless you're going to pay for an Uber. But even then, if you stay for 2 days, it's much cheaper than renting a hotel. But I got free rides. So 2 days there at mile 152. Whatever. Paradise Valley Cafe. When I got to Paradise Valley Cafe, it was already closed. It was after 3 o'clock. It was like 3:30, 3:45, something like that. I came home. Then the following day, I remember all well, and I went back to Paradise Valley Cafe to pick up my microspikes and my ice axe. I continued with my microspikes, but I left the ice axe at home, and it's still here. I'll send it to Kennedy Meadows. I'll have Olive Oil send to Kennedy Meadows. If everything goes good, and I'm approaching Kennedy Meadows, I'll have her send it over to Grumpy Bears. And that's mile 702. So then I was 2 days at Paradise Valley Cafe. I then hiked episode 14, 15, and 16, were the desert divide between Paradise Valley Cafe and Idlewild. There was another viewer who asked me, said, hey, what happened to Highway 74 to Saddle Junction? And I told him it's 14, 15, and 16. That's that area. That right there. And then from there I went straight into Saddle Junction. That was episode 16. And then down into Idlewild. I stayed with hi John and Walkabout. I stayed with them at Silver Pines Lodge that night. The next day we all zeroed. I zeroed. That was 1 day zero at there because I wanted to stay there. I wanted to rest and I wanted to enjoy Idlewild. So I stayed there. I didn't go home. That was 1 day. The second day I stayed at the Idlewild Inn. Ate breakfast over at the Red Kettle. Very good place to eat breakfast. I ate dinner at that one night I ate dinner at, I think it's called a brewery something, I don't remember. Hamburger and French fries. And I got something else too. The next day I brought something in I don't remember where, I think it was at the market, and I ate it in my hotel. Excuse me. So that was 1 day. So now I had Mount Laguna, 2 Scissors Crossing, 2 at Paradise Valley Cafe. That's 5. And 1 in Idlewild. That's 6 zeros by the time I got to Idlewild. And you might think, wow, nobody does that. Oh yeah. A lot of people. I've met a lot of people that have taken time off. And if you live close to home, you'll take more time off because it's almost free. And when you're with your loved ones. So, for a while, went down that horrific. I didn't really start feeling too much pain that I thought was pain at that time. I was feeling knee pain going down the big descent down into the I-10. I got there very late at night. I actually didn't film a lot of that because I wanted to get down as fast as I could because I didn't want to be caught in all the high wind going down that ridge of, not full ridge, but the ridge that actually goes down into the ground off of the mountain by that water faucet of 205. Got there and I walked, I night hiked, not with a lamp, but the moonlight. I just walked with the moonlight, and I didn't go on the PCT because I didn't see the sign, and I didn't bother to check gut hooks, and I thought, you know what, I want to go home. This time I want to go home, and I was looking for an Uber. There was no Uber. So, and I'm glad you can't get it close to the water faucet because there's a gate by a community that's closed. The Uber, if they wanted to pick you up, they couldn't. You have to get past that gate, and maybe if you have reception, and maybe if there's a rider, a driver. It kept on saying no driver was available. So I got next to the train tracks, and I said, okay, I really need to find this. Now that I know I'm not going to have an Uber, I need to find this PCT wherever it's at. And I was on a dirt road by that time next to the train tracks, and I'm seeing that if I kept going by the train tracks, I would end up bumping into the PCT. So that's what I did. I just followed the train tracks and added more miles. I ended up doing about a 24-mile day. Next morning, Olive Oil already knew that I was going to go home the next day because I wanted to go home. So I got up and I started walking over, and I was thinking to myself, you know what, I'm not going to be able to go home because I can't find an Uber. So when I went up the road that's right there, it's a Tamarack Road, right up from the highway with the bridge, Hiker Oasis they call it. This year, the theme over at Marysville was also Hiker Oasis. But Hiker Oasis over with Mama Bear. I went up, and just as I was going up to where the road is at, this car passes by, and it happened to be an Uber Lyft driver dropping off two hikers that he had picked up from, I don't know where it was, Palm Springs or somewhere, I'm not sure where. So they, people take zeros. I mean, you take zeros. So I went again home, and I did another 2 days. And then my son-in-law, let me tell you one thing about zeros when you come home. It's very hard to get back on trail. Very sad. One of the saddest things is when I have to leave back on trail and they drop me off, and then Olive Oil, she's like, bye, miss you, I love you, whatever. And then Robert, bye. From the time they dropped me off at the terminus to the other times when at Scissors Crossing, they dropped me off there again. They're in videos. Olive Oil dropped me off again at 209.5. It's hard. It's very hard. I mean, it takes a whole day. The following day, I'm already back in the rhythm, back in the groove, on the hike, texting her. She's fine. And then I'm okay. But crazy stuff starts going through my head. Like, what the heck am I doing here? I shouldn't be here. I should be home with her. I should be working. I mean, we have this budgeted out, but still, it's very difficult to come back on trail. And that first day is just so emotionally overwhelming. I don't know if it's the same thing for her because she stays home with her grandkids and our daughter and son-in-law. But for me, it was very hard. And I'm talking to other hikers that also, they've been dropped off, picked up by their loved one as well. And they're like, I don't like this. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be on the PCT. I'm supposed to be with her. So it's very hard. When you zero and when you're not like in Idlewild or at a town, Mount Laguna, it's not a problem. You want to get up there and go hiking, you're not going to miss that town. I had never missed that town. I want to get out there and hike. When it's your loved one, it's very hard, emotionally difficult. Got to Big Bear. Everybody that I knew took 2 days off. There was a lot of hikers over there, but maybe there was some that did only 1. But 2 days, stayed in a hotel, editing videos. It takes a long time. Editing videos and uploading videos, and that was 2 days at Big Bear. There were people that zeroed, there were people that double zeroed in the hot springs. I just stayed there to talk to some people and then left. 324. The road goes, the PCT goes to the road. My foot was hurting. I had no intention of getting off trail to rest there. No intention. But I did so because I didn't know that the PCT actually was part of the road. I mean, if you see the video, the PCT goes to this parking lot of a business, and it goes right on the road, and it just follows, crosses the bridge, and it becomes your roadwalk part of the PCT. It's very short. When I got there, I saw some people hitchhiking, and I knew that my foot was hurt. My intention was to get to Cajon Pass and zero. Not Cajon Pass, go home. Again, it's cheaper to get an Uber, go home, than to rent a hotel. Especially if you're going to stay there for 2 days, you got to rent the hotel for 2 days. Okay. So I 324. There was 2 other hikers that were hitching together, and there was another hiker that showed up. He was hitching, and I started talking to one of them, just resting my foot, and he was like, "Yeah, just why are you gonna wait till if your foot, especially your foot's hurting? Why are you gonna wait till Cajon Pass? And all Will and I have actually done, not all of Cajon Pass to 324, but we done part of that, and then gone back on a day hike. We've also done Baden Powell. Anyway, that's a different story. So he's like, your foot hurts. Just he said, I'm gonna hitch right into Cajon Pass, and so I went like, what's the point? He's right. So when we were hitching, he ended up calling somebody. They got a phone number from a trail angel that there was a list of a Cajon Pass Inn, and he called them. We gave him $5. He took me into Cajon Pass. From Cajon Pass, I called an Uber. I called it, use the app, and within 10 minutes there was one there. Took me home, and the mistake that I made there. How long did I stay there? I believe it was a week and 2 days, or a week and 1 day. I don't really remember. It was a little bit more than a week. It could have been 8 days or 9 days. Anyway, 444 KOA. When I got there again, same thing. Like he was just tearing me apart. Came home. This time, the following day, when I came home, I went to the VA clinic. Said, hey, this is what's going on with my foot. They said, okay, here we don't have anything to take care of that with. Referred me out to urgent care. There, the doctor looked at me, and she was kind of concerned about I might have a blood clot. I don't know what, a DVT, a deep vein thrombosis, because the pain was feeling kind of severe on the inside, but it was muscle. I kind of know it was muscle pain. She did something called a Homan sign, and I didn't test positive for that. So I didn't think it was a blood clot, but nonetheless, she said, I want an ultrasound and x-rays. So she punched in all that stuff. They were on contract with the VA. They sent that to the VA hospital. She says, go to the VA hospital, if not today, tomorrow morning. I was tired, so the next day. So I got home. The next day I went to the VA. The following day I went to the VA hospital for emergency. And then when I went over there, they did the ultrasound, It was clear, no stress fracture. It was definitely plantar fasciitis. Pretty much knew that it was a plantar fasciitis. And then after that happened, they said the doctor there, he knew I was trying to do the PCT. It was also just a few days. It was a few days before the 1 year anniversary of me at the same hospital, having had a heart surgery, quadruple heart bypass after a heart attack. He knew about that. He saw it in my records, everything. He's like, you're on this PCT. You already done so many miles. Let me try to rush you in for a podiatry. The podiatrist can give you a shot. He can do whatever it takes. So I had to wait until today when I saw the podiatrist, and it's already been, today is 1 week, so it's been 7 days. And tomorrow I want to do a hike up to Devil's Slide, so I'm not going to sit as long as my foot doesn't hurt that much. The lidocaine that they put in there with the cortisone wore off, and I can feel the pain of the injection, so hopefully that's not there tomorrow morning. And then the following day I want to get an Uber and get back out to KOA and start hiking again. That's what I want to do. That's it for my zeros. Most of them have been because of injury. Anyway, that's it with that. And this I found that it's not that uncommon for people to take a week or more than a week time for injury. And before I used to look at that and go like, wow, now I see why. All right, guys, I gotta edit both of these, this one and the shoe one, and then hopefully tomorrow I can get on trail. I'm not gonna video anything until I get back to KOA. Thanks a lot for watching. Ow! Oh God, that hurts. Yes. Hopefully it'll be gone tomorrow.